That was used in the movie The Odd Couple. So Bob Ojeda on the mound for the New York Mets. He's 1-3 for the year with an earned run average of 2.82, walking 13, striking out 27, giving up 34 hits in 44 2/3 innings. Lifetime against the Pittsburgh Pirates, he is 10-4.
Ojeda has been very successful against Pittsburgh through his career. Gary Redus leading it off, the first baseman, who should give Ojeda more problems than anybody in their lineup. He's that type of hitter. Rafael Belliard, the shortstop, batting second, followed by Jeff King, the third baseman. Bobby Bonilla, the right fielder, hitting fourth. Barry Bonds, the left fielder, batting fifth. Don Slaught, the catcher, hitting sixth. Andy Van Slyke moved to the seventh hole. Jose Lind, the second baseman, batting eighth. And on the mound for the Pirates and batting ninth, Walt Terrell.
And the defense for the Mets: Marshall at first base, Jeffries at second, Elster at shortstop, Magadan at third, McReynolds in left, Boston in center, and Strawberry in right. The umpires for this game: John McSherry behind home plate, Bob Davison at first base, Ed Montague at second, and Charlie Williams, the umpire, at third. And we're all set to go here at Shea. Gary Redus to lead it off. Redus, being platoon, plays against left-hand pitching. And the first pitch of the game hit in the air to left field. Redus hitting .227 with 1 home run and 8 runs batted in, makes the first out on the first pitch. So a quick out, and that'll bring up Rafael Belliard. Belliard hitting .182 for the year, no home runs, 1 run batted in. He's been out just 11 times. Last year batted .214 for the Pirates. His lifetime average .219. He's hit only 1 home run in his major league career, and there's a bouncy ball up the middle and a base hit for Belliard on the second pitch of the game.
It's really not bad policy when you think about it. With your number 2 hitter and Belliard with only 11 times at bat, I guess Ojeda thought he was taking, and he was swinging. Knowing he would get a fastball, he got it and found a hole.
So a runner at first base with 1 out, and the batter will be Jeff King, hitting .200. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. King got his first base hit in the major leagues against Rick Aguilera here at Shea Stadium last year. Also hit his first home run here off Rick Aguilera. And he has an idea about bunting. He's hitting in the third spot with a runner at first and 1 out and thinking about bunting. You got to wonder about that.
I think the Pirates may test Dave Magadan at third. I think that was one of the reasons on King's mind. I would imagine several Pirates will try to bunt today with Howard Johnson out of there.
Their best bunter not playing, Jay Bell. And there goes Belliard. The pitch way outside. The throw by Sasser. It is in time, and the tag is made by Kevin Elster. Throw a little high, but Sasser gets it there quick enough for Elster to make the tag in time.
Mackey's throwing better. He has now thrown out 7 of his last 15. A hit and run play. The throw, as you said, was high, but Belliard belly flopping into second is an easy out. Good quick tag by Elster.
That's now thrown out 18 of 107. And the 1-1 pitch is taken low.
Guess you could say Belliard, belly flop, belly up. 2 outs.
2 outs. The 2-1 pitch to King, who is the #1 draft choice in the nation. This ball hit down in right field. It's out of reach and in foul territory, out of play.
Tell you the most noticeable thing since Buddy Harrelson has taken over the ball club is Darryl Strawberry's inspired play. Not only offensively, but he's playing a better brand defensively in right field.
He is certainly giving a lot of effort to his playing this year. The 2-2 delivery, curveball, it's in there. Strike 3. I believe he called him out for a half swing, and that will end the inning. One hit and no one left on base. The score at the end of 1/2 inning. The Pirates nothing, the Mets coming up, and here's a word from Mobile Gasoline. Run average of 5.07, 18 walks, 23 strikeouts, 65 hits in 55 innings, and he is making his first appearance ever against New York.
Lineup for the Mets: Darryl Boston in center field, leading it off. Dave Magadan at the third baseman, batting second. Greg Jeffries has been hot. He's batting third. Right fielder Darryl Strawberry has been hotter. He's hitting fourth. Kevin McReynolds, the left fielder, batting fifth. Mike Marshall at first, batting sixth. Mackie Sasser, the catcher, batting seventh. Shortstop Kevin Elster batting eighth. And on the mound, Bobby Ojeda batting ninth.
And for the defense, we'll show you that in just a moment as Boston leads it off and takes a strike. At first base, Reedus. At second base, Lean. Belliard at shortstop. King in the third base position. Bonds, Van Slyke, and Bonilla in the outfield left to right. And Slot the catcher. Boston takes again in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boston hitting .268, 4 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Boston an idea about bunting, but taking a strike, and it's 1-2. Chuck Hiller at third base, the third base coach, and Mike Cubbage, the first base coach for the Mets. And a ball call, it's 2-2. And it's Jim Leyland, the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's done an outstanding job. 34-21, the record of his club, and the off-speed pitch is swung on a miss, so Boston struck out.
Number 10, Dave Magadan.
Walt Terrell is a more deceptive pitcher now, and that's how he gets Boston out. The palm ball. Terrell used to feature mostly hard stuff. He'll sink the ball to the left-hander. He'll ride it inside. Primarily keeps the ball away to all hitters with an assortment of breaking balls, and that was a fork ball on which Boston struck out.
And the batter, Dave Magadan, takes a pitch for strike 1. Magadan playing at third base today, hitting .296 with no home runs, 4 runs batted in, 4 RBIs and 71 at bats. And the off-speed pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Magadan, in his last 22 games, as you look at Jeffries in the on-deck circle, hitting .348. He started the season hitting .216 and has hit .345 since then to get his average to his .296 point.
And folks, if you've been following the papers, the rumors persisting about Bob Guerin, the catcher for the New York Yankees, coming to the Mets for Dave Magadan. Obviously still in the rumor stage.
And that pitch for a ball in the count, 3-1.
I wonder how many unfounded trade rumors go through a single season. Thousands of them.
Thousands. Everybody that can dream one up will have one. This 3-1 pitch hit the left center field, tending away from Van Slyke, but he makes a diving catch, and the Gold Glover shows how good he is in that center field spot.
He plays center field with reckless abandon on grass or the artificial surface. Fine play by Van Slyke, and you call it right route. That ball tailing away from Van Slyke. Fine play by Andy.
So 2 men away, and that'll bring up Greg Jeffries, who has a 5-game hitting streak. He's had 7 hits in his last 5 ball games, hitting .389. In his last 31 games, he's hit .308, batting .288 on the year with 9 home runs. And the off-speed pitch for ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Jeffries in this series 6 for 14. A good series. Was in a batting slump when the series started. And the fastball, 2-1. Jeffries in Philadelphia had his average over 300 and then hit that batting slump as you look at Darryl Strawberry. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. And the sinking fastball for ball 3, and again he's behind the hitter. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the fastball is hit high in the air to left center field. Barry Bonds is there. And the Mets go in order. And the score at the end of 1. The Pirates nothing, the Mets nothing. And here's the word from the Wiz. Bonilla hitting .292 in the year with 14 home runs, 45 runs batted in. He's 3 for 10 in the series, and Ojeda misses again. That's ball 2. The Pirates came into this game with a team batting average of .275, third in the National League. And this ball hit down to third, and it's a fair ball by Magadan down in the left field foul territory area. And Bonilla goes into second with a stand-up double.
Well, you can't be everywhere. Dave Magadan pushed toward the fat part of the field, and Bonilla hits it right down the line. Double number 14 on the year for Bonilla, who is second in the National League in total bases and extra base hits. A lot of production out of Bonilla.
That'll bring up Barry Bonds. Bonds 3 for 11 in the series, hitting .299 with a total of 10 home runs and 40 runs batted in. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Bonds with runners in scoring position, hitting .474. He is having quite a year in that department.
18 for 38.
30 runs batted in. 30 of his 40 coming with runners in scoring position. Batting .312 against left-handers, .289 against right-handed pitching. And this one hit down the other line, and it'll be a base hit. Phenia comes in to score from second. The ball gets by Strawberry. Bonds on his way to third. Running hard. He is being held up at third base as the throw comes into the infield. And on the play, the Pirates take the lead 1-0.
With 2 outs, I think third base coach Gene Lamont would have sent Barry Bonds, and Barry would have tried for the inside park home run, but not with nobody out. A mistake by Ojeda, a breaking ball that stays the fat part of the plate. The ball hugging the wall, and it squirts by Strawberry, as you see. And when Bonds was rounding third base, his foot hit the bag, and it slipped off the bag. Remember, he had problems with his knees 2 years ago. He appears to be all right. But he was trying to pick up Lamont. Lamont stopped him. Bonds had home on his mind, and Gene Lamont properly stopping him. I'll tell you, on those bases, what happens is to keep them white, occasionally grounds crews will put a little white paint on them, and sometimes when that dries, it's very slick, and that may very well have been what happened to Barry Bonds.
They are scoring that, a 2-base hit and an error. The Mets are putting the appeal play on at second. Mets thought that Bonds did not touch second on his way to third, but second base umpire Ed Montague said he did touch the bag. So a runner at third on the air after the 2-base hit. A run is in. And the batter is Don Slott, who was a pinch hitter in yesterday's game and had a base hit. It was his first appearance against the Mets this year. Slott having an outstanding start, hitting .396 with 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Mets have their infield in at first and third, and this pitch hit in the air to center field. It will score a run. And when taking the ball deeper than Boston thought as he backtracks into deep center field to make the catch. And Bond scores. So the Pirates leading 2-0. As Slott gets a run batted in.
Center fielder, number 18, Andy Van Slyke.
That will bring up Andy Van Slyke.
RBI number 15 for Slott. It's funny how what goes around comes around. When Slott was with Texas, he was injured in May of '86. Put on the DL. You remember when Oil Can Boyd hit him in the face. And who was called up to replace Slott? Orlando Mercado, the hero of last night's game for the Mets with a 2-run home run.
So Slott with a run batted in, back to the bench to don the catching equipment as you look at Mercado, and the pitch to Van Slyke fouled back out of play. Van Slyke hitting .322 for the year, 7 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Hitting .250 against left-hand pitching, and the pitch is again fouled. Strike 2 the count. Van Slyke has hit 7 home runs, all of them off of right-hand pitchers. And against right-handed pitchers, he's hitting .363. Pirate bench as they lead 2-0 here in the top of the second. Mets and Pirates have played 6 games this year. Each team has won 3. And Van Slyke takes for a ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the fastball hit down the left field side. It's curving foul. It'll be out of play.
Just foul, about a foot. Ojeda's going to call Sasser out there, or he motioned to him and probably asking Mackey to give him the location if that ball was outside. Bobby's going to have to start coming in on more hitters. When he's ahead, he has been staying away, away, away. If you don't come in on hitters, that's what they do. They lean out over the plate. This is almost another extra base hit, but it's fouled by about 4 inches.
So the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes on Van Slyke. He goes to the curveball, misses with it, 2-2. Again, the curve.
It's true that keeping the ball away is Bobby Ojeda's bread and butter, but occasionally you have to put some jam on the bread and butter.
Jam that hitter.
Come inside, that's right.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. And hits it hard to right. Strawberry over, and he makes a leaping catch and takes an extra base hit away from Andy Van Slyke on an outstanding play by Darryl Strawberry.
Van Slyke hits this ball awfully hard to right field. A fine play by Strawberry. Leaping catch. Good play.
So now 2 men away, and that brings up Jose Lean. Lean 2 for 10 in this series, hitting .333 for the year with no home runs, 23 runs batted in. And the first pitch for ball 1. Back-to-back foul line doubles and a sacrifice fly for 2 runs. This one bounced up the middle, cut off by Elster. The quick throw to first retires the side. So 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. No one left on base. The score at the end of 1.5 innings, the Pirates 2, the Mets nothing. Now here's the Pirates leading 2-0, and for the Mets, Darryl Strawberry to lead it off. Mets retired in order in the first inning with the help of a fine catch by Van Slyke in center field. Walt Terrell on the mound. And the former Mets with his first pitch, a fastball swung on and missed. Darryl in his last 16 games with 7 home runs and 13 runs batted in. In his last 12 games, he's hit .366 with 6 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Now hitting .261 in the year. And the changeup swung on and missed, strike 2. Strawberry's lifetime average .260. And he takes that pitch for a ball. It's 1-2. Darryl 3 for 11 against Pittsburgh in this 4-game series. All 3 of his hits have been home runs. And the fastball just misses. 2-2.
2 Missouri pitches. Show me. He's going to come back with a changeup right here.
Fooled Darryl with a changeup early in the sequence.
Wiggle for a change.
And Darryl out in front of it pulls it into the stands foul.
Here's the fastball off the plate on the 1-2 pitch. That's just a show me pitch right there. And he wanted to get Strawberry out with this pitch right here, but Darryl stays alive.
Now a 2-2, the pitch back. Again the changeup. So after 2 changeups, you would expect him to go to the fastball.
Yeah. If I were Darryl, I'd just eliminate the inside part of the plate. I don't think Terrell thinks he can throw him inside. I think he'll stay away.
Terrell, a tough man to pull. He has that fastball that moves away.
He just shook him off inside to go away. Slot patted to his right leg, and Terrell shook off location, and then Slot went outside, and he missed with the fastball away.
Now it's 3-2, and Terrell, a veteran pitcher, probably will change speeds on this pitch.
Fastball away.
And he walked it. So Darryl becomes the first base runner for the Mets. And it brings up Kevin McReynolds.
Good at bat by Strawberry. After falling behind in the count, he works Terrell for a walk.
So a runner at first with Kevin McReynolds the batter. McReynolds hitting .251 with 8 home runs, 27 runs batted in. 4 for 12 in this series. And the first pitch, a breaking ball for ball 1.
Nobody could be more comfortable catching Walt Terrell than Don Slot. They were together last year with the Yankees, if you'll remember. Terrell traded to the Padres in midseason, signed with the Pirates as a free agent, and Slot came over to the Pirates in a trade over the wintertime.
And the pitch is in there for a call, strike 1-1. With the Yankees, Terrell was 6-5. With San Diego, he was 5-13.
Slot being traded to the Pirates for pitcher Jeff Robinson and young right-handed fireballer Willie Smith.
1-1 pitch, hit down to third, bobbled by King. He has time to throw to first and makes a good throw over there as Reedus takes the throw with the stretch, and on the play, Strawberry down to second. Lost a chance to pick up the lead runner by bobbling the ball. No error.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been a double play. It's too far to go, but at least he gets the lead runner. The ball hits the heel of the glove, but a strong throw by King. He gets the trail runner.
So the Mets with a runner in scoring position for Mike Marshall, who's 4 for 10 in this series.
I'll tell you what, if this guy, in my opinion, if King can learn to relax, he's going to be a good big league player. He has great instincts. He swings the bat with a lot of authority. He's just not relaxed enough. It takes time.
First choice in the nation in 1986.
Don't you like his instincts?
I do.
His
I
reactions?
like his body and the way he goes at it.
Strong throwing arm.
Good build for a baseball player. And he does have a lot of power. Half of his hits last year were extra base hits.
He's just a little nervous. It just takes time and some success to learn how to relax in the major leagues.
1 strike to count on Mike Marshall. And the pitch hangs inside. 1-1. Marshall batting .241. 6 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Terrell taking too much time. Terrell with a lifetime record of 86 and 93. He was traded to the Mets from Texas along with Ron Darling for Lee Mazzilli. One of the first trades made by Frank Cashin when he took over the operations of this ball club, and one of his best trades. Of course, Terrell was moved on to Detroit, and the Mets came up with Howard Johnson. And the entire sequence of that trade ending up with Darling with the Mets as an outstanding pitcher and Howard Johnson with the Mets. As it turned out, they got Lee Mazzilli back. Closed out his career with the Mets. Did a fine job as a pinch hitter. There goes the runner. The pitch line to right field. And now Strawberry will have to hurry to get back to second. He can't do it, and he's doubled off as Darryl stopped but did not go back. I don't believe he knew where the ball was. And the double play ends the inning. The score at the end of 2. The Pirates 2 and the Mets nothing. And now here's a word from Old Spice. Mets pitcher to hit 2 home runs in 1 game. He did that for the Mets back in 1983, and he did it against Ferguson Jenkins, an outstanding pitcher for the Cubs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. He grounds to the shortstop Elster. The throw retires Terrell. 1 away.
Tell you, ending that second inning, Buddy Harrelson has made it clear that he's not ever going to get on a player for being intelligently aggressive. And that's what Strawberry was. He just got caught. I mean, Marshall hits the ball hard to right field. Darryl didn't have a chance to get back. At one hesitation from that angle, you see, Darryl can't tell whether the ball is going to fall in front of Bonilla in right field, and he's doubled off easily at second. But that was trying to steal third with 1 out. That's a good play. He just got caught. That's all. And Buddy will never say anything to a player when that happens.
Well, that play was certainly not Strawberry's fault. He was aggressive and just got trapped on the line drive to right. Now the pitch to Gary Reedus in there for a call strike. Reedus saw 1 pitch his first time up and flied to left. Hitting .227 for the year with 1 home run, 8 runs batted in. This one popped up on the first base side. So Marshall puts it away. And that will bring up Rafael Belliard.
Shortstop Rafael Belliard.
Belliard singled up the middle his first time up. It was his 3rd hit of the year. He's been up just 12 times. And Belliard with absolutely no power. McReynolds very deep in left field. Strawberry also deep in right. Boston is shallow. The 1-0 pitch, and it's topped out in front of the mound. It's going to be a tough play for Ojeda. He can't make it. So Belliard will get his 2nd hit.
Not a lot you can do about that. It's in that area where it's tough for Ojeda to field it, being a left-hander, and tough for Sasser to field it. It just dies in that little triangle there between home, the mound, and the third baseline. See, Ojeda has to pick it up, pivot, and make the throw, and he can't do it.
So a runner at first base on the infield base hit with 2 men out, and Jeff King the batter. King was struck out his first time up. And the first pitch for ball 1. King had 42 hits last year. 21 of his hits were extra base hits. And a swing at the changeup, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. With runners on base, King hit 134 last year, the lowest average in the major leagues with runners on base. Batted totally for the year a total of 195. And the fastball fouled off, and the count 1-2. King from the University of Arkansas, as well as Kevin McReynolds. Shares a home run record of 17 with McReynolds at Arkansas. There's a grounder to second. The throw by Jeffers gets King, and that retires a side. An infield base hit, a man left at first, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings. As Mackey Sasser will lead it off. Sasser has been on a hot streak. And he attempts to bunt his way on and fouls it back out of play. Sasser hitting .297 with 1 home run and 7 runs batted in for the year. But in his last 20 games, he's hitting .404 with a home run and 6 RBIs. Mackey Sasser, followed by Kevin Elster and Bob Ojeda, as Walt Terrell works for the Pirates. And that pitch a ball, and the count 1-1.
I'll tell you, if King continues to play back at third base, you ought to take another shot. If they're going to give you the bunt, take advantage of it.
King very deep at third, as you can see. And the second baseman also very deep, Jose Lee. This one grounded to the first baseman. Reedus, the first baseman, takes it to the bag. So Sasser is out.
Other action is shown on the Nissan National League scoreboard. No score. Philadelphia, Chicago just underway. St. Louis and Montreal scoreless in the second. San Francisco and Atlanta scoreless with the Giants batting in the top of the first. The same with Cincinnati at Houston. LA at San Diego a little later on.
San Diego cutting Cincinnati's lead to 6.5. And Cincinnati no longer with the best record in baseball. Oakland has it now. And the first pitch to Elster, taken for ball 1. Elster hitting .192, 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in. On May 6th, he was hitting .088. And a pitch for a called strike, 1-1. Elster 5 for 11 in this series. One pitch, and the off-speed pitch for a ball, 2-1. Well, it's certainly apparent when you look at Terrell pitch now. He's a different pitcher than he was when he was with the Mets. He used to throw hard sinkers and fairly fast. Now he is nothing but off-speed pitches. And he misses with that one and falls behind 3-1. He does not throw hard. And the 3-1 pitch is fouled off. Terrell, 32 years of age. And this one popped into shallow center field, leaned back, and he makes a fine catch. Jose Lean, outstanding defensive second baseman.
Lean with extraordinary jumping abilities
Bob Ojeda.
and marvelous acrobatic talents defensively. Shows them right here. Good play.
And that catch brings up Bob Ojeda. Ojeda 2 for 11 on the year. And he takes a fastball for a called strike. When Terrell was with the Yankees in June, he lost 6 games in that month, which brought on his trade to San Diego in July. And this pitch popped up to the left fielder, and Ojeda's out as Barry Bonds makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Walt Terrell. The score at the end of 3. It's the Pirates 2, the Mets nothing.
And I guess the Mets are hoping that the buck stops there. 2 runs in the second inning. Fastball on the corner, 1-1 to Bonilla. Bobby scored the first run. He was driven in by Barry Bonds' double. Bonds went to third on an error by Darryl Strawberry and scored on a sacrifice fly by Don Slaught. Change, grounded to short. And Elster throws out Bonilla, 1 away here in the 4th. Ralph mentioned that this game was brought to you in part by our Lincoln Mercury friends. It's also brought to you by the New York Daily News, New York's hometown paper. I think it's worthy of note, Bobby Bonilla honored the other night as one of the leading Hispanic citizens from the 5 boroughs in New York. He's from the Bronx as Bobby Bonds steps up. Fastball outside. Bonds with an RBI double. First time up. One and one. It's particularly worthy of note, Bonilla being honored on Thursday, and today in New York City, the Puerto Rican parade down 5th Avenue, and it will go on into late afternoon. Big affair here in New York City. Fastball outside, 2 balls and a strike to Barry Bonds. Two and two. The reason that the Pirates are less effective against left-handed pitching, their 3 main cogs, Bonds, Van Slyke left-handed, and Bonilla, a poorer hitter from the right side than he is from the left side. Bonilla, for instance, batting .206 as a right-handed batter, .360 as a left-handed batter. 3-2 to Barry Bonds. Strike. Second strikeout for Ojeda. 2 outs here in the 4th.
On the Nissan American League scoreboard, Baltimore leading the Yankees 1-0 top of the 3rd. Seattle 2-0 over Detroit bottom half of the 3rd. Cleveland 1, Boston 0 top of the 6th. Chicago, Minnesota underway. Toronto and Milwaukee later. Kansas City and Oakland later. And Texas against California later.
Don Slaught drove in his 15th run of the year. First at bat with a sacrifice fly to center, and he taps this one left side. Magadan goes out Slaught. Easy inning for Bobby Ojeda as the Pirates go for the first time in this game in order. 2-0 Bucks. We'll be back right after this from your Tri-State Lincoln Mercury dealers. Well, it's a day game, and the Mets have failed to score, and they have failed to get a hit yet. So 0-0 as Boston is 0 for 1. The only base runner, a walk to Darryl Strawberry in the 2nd. Change is low, ball 1. Capacity crowd on hand here at Shea Stadium to watch the final game of this 4-game series. Another change. Did he go too far? No, says Charlie Williams. The Mets hit the road. There's the crowd. Mets hit the road after today's game. They play in Chicago tomorrow and Tuesday. Tapper over the mound. Easy play for Belliard, and he throws out Boston. 1 out here in the 4th. Mets wrapping up that series at Wrigley Field with a doubleheader on Wednesday. Then they go to Pittsburgh for 4 games next weekend. Dave Magadan in 1 at-bat last night lined hard to Bonilla and right. And today lined hard to left center his first at-bat, and Van Slyke robbed him of a base hit. Diving catch in the left center. Ball and no strikes to Magadan.
In the one game he started, he was 1 for 3 with 2 walks, on base 3 times.
Slider on the inside corner, 1-1 to Magadan. 2-0 Pittsburgh here in the bottom of the 4th. Ball and 2 strikes to Dave. That's the way to endear yourself to the fans that are closest to you. If you're a first base coach, that'll keep them off of you.
That's right. That keeps him off his back.
Shrewd diplomatic move by Mike Cubbage. Curve is low, 2-2 to Magadan.
Pittsburgh had an outfielder named Johnny Rizzo, and the bleacher fans used to get on him so badly that one day he brought out a hunk of meat and tossed it to them.
What kind of meat was it?
I don't think it was expensive. But those wolves are really on his back.
3-2 to Magadan.
Pittsburgh fans, before they moved to Three River Stadium, were really tough fans, like they were in Philadelphia in the old ballpark. They're not as tough as they used to be, for some reason.
Only the wall remains of what was Forbes Field, and the slider inside. And over that wall was one of the most dramatic blows ever hit in Pittsburgh Pirate history, hit by Bill Mazeroski off Ralph Terry to end the 1960 World Series. Pirates 10, Yankees 9. So Magadan at first base, Jeffries the batter, and it would be wise for Reedus to be playing behind the hitter or behind the runner, but Reedus is holding Magadan on. Magadan is going nowhere unless it's a hit and run play, and then a jump's not imperative anyway. Change a strike to Jeffries.
Magadan with 1 stolen base in his major league career, and it was on the back end of a double steal.
Change lifted to left. Back is Belliard. Bonds in, and nobody gets to him. Had Bonds come up throwing, he may have had a play at second base. The first net hit of the afternoon. And it could be a big one because here comes Strawberry.
This was really a gift hit. Bonds could have caught this ball easy, but Belliard calls for it, so Bonds pulls up. Jeffries unhappy with the pop-up, but he gets a gift here as it drops in. Bonds not throwing in a way. In a hurry, he didn't realize that Magadan had held about halfway.
It's like getting a pretty gift in an ugly package. So 2 on, 1 out. And Strawberry the batter. He walked in the second. Outside, ball 1. They say power hitters aren't streaky. swing and a miss, 1-1.
Walt Terrell has given up 8 home runs this year. And he came into this game with an earned run average of over 5.
Deep to left field. Back is Bonds. This ball is out of here. Home run, Darryl Strawberry. The Mets lead it 3-2. You just had a look at the switch that turned on the electricity.
This crowd brought to life by the blast by Darryl Strawberry, his 30th home run against the Pittsburgh Pirates in his major league career. He hit his first home run ever in the major leagues against Pittsburgh.
Inside to McReynolds, ball 1.
Here's a look at Strawberry's eyes as he puts the bat in the ball, drills it to left center field. Strawberry red hot in his last 13 games, 7 home runs.
3-2 New York. RBIs number 27, 8, and 9. And the Strawberry Festival continues. Two balls and no strikes. Make that 3 balls and no strikes to Kevin McReynolds. When that ball dropped in front of Barry Bonds and behind Belliard, you really got a good feeling if you're a Mets fan. Swinging 3-0. Van Slyke had dropped back, and now it's Bonilla who comes in to make the play. Van Slyke didn't pick that ball up right away, but Bonilla did. 2 outs.
First baseman, Mike Marshall.
Mike Marshall now. He hit it hard, but into a double play his first at bat, and he taps it foul. With Strawberry on second, breaking for third, Marshall lined to Bonilla in right field. Strawberry couldn't get back to second in time, and that double play ended the second inning. No balls and 2 strikes to Marshall. The Phillies have scored in the first inning at Chicago. Mackey Sasser on deck. And when the Phillies score in the first inning, you have to wonder whether Lenny Dykstra extended his hitting streak. Still 0-2 to Marshall. We'll try to find that out for you. Dykstra with a 22-game hitting streak and still batting over 400. A ball and 2 strikes to Marshall. Wally Backman, a home run in last night's ball game. He's out of there today because the left-hander is starting. Jim Leland giving Jeff King a chance to start at third. 2-2 to Marshall. Foul back, still 2-2. Strawberry has such awesome strength that it doesn't matter whether he pulls the ball or not.
He hurts himself when he tries to pull the ball.
Yeah. No part of the ballpark is safe with Darryl up. Still foul away, 2-2. 2 strikes to Marshall. To right, Bonilla in, shading from the sun, and he makes the play. But the Mets go ahead on a 3-run homer by Darryl Strawberry and lead 3-2 after 4. We're back after this from Nissan. Music. And he is a classic hitter, lining one up the middle. He leads off the 5th with the Mets on top, 3-2, and Jose Lean coming up.
Second baseman, Jose Lean.
Remember, folks, you may want to stay tuned at least till after this inning is over, because you will have a chance to see a movie made in progress. Made in progress, is that right? Yeah.
Progress of the game.
Progress of the game, yeah. 3 Men and a Little Lady, the sequel to 3 Men and a Baby, as Lean lines it foul down the right field line. No balls, 1 strike to Lean. That is the story of 6 men and no little ladies right there.
You know, Tim, back in 1951, they made the movie Angels in the Outfield using the Pittsburgh Pirate team as the background for that movie. It was a movie about a little girl that got a tough manager to straighten out his ways.
Paul Douglas.
Paul Douglas was the manager, and Janet Leigh was the girl star in that movie. And it was made during the progress of the season. They took shots of ball games that were being played by the Pittsburgh Pirates. That was Eisenhower's favorite movie, according to somewhere where I read that. Good movie, though, actually.
He didn't say that was his favorite movie while he was the president. I don't know if he'd have been reelected or not.
No, it wasn't a bad movie, really.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. I don't know whether it would be politically savvy to say that Angels in the Outfield was your favorite movie with the Korean War going on.
He got my vote.
Still 0-2 to Lean. You often see that, guys. There goes the runner, the throw, got him! Sasser. His second time that he has caught a Pirate base runner today. And I mean, that throw was right on the money, 1 out.
Sasser certainly has improved throwing. His accuracy has been perfect here today. 2 perfect throws, good release, the ball down there in a hurry. Van Slyke had a pretty good jump, and he is out.
Ball and 2 strikes to Lean. Boy, I hate that slide.
See, an outstanding player like that, you could ruin your fingers.
Still 1-2. You know, Howard Johnson out with that ailing left shoulder. He said he thought he heard it on the West Coast on a swing. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he may have at least damaged it some by sliding into bases head first. Tapper towards short, easy play for Elster. 2 outs. When you weigh the risks of sliding in head first, when you're a power hitter like Johnson with a strong throwing arm, it's really not worth it. You may get there a little quicker. Howard Johnson's value is not determined by whether you make it sliding in head first to a base. It's how many games you play. Foul territory, Magadan near the tarp, makes a nice play. Pirates fail to score. It's the Mets 3, Pittsburgh 2 after 4.5. And we're back after this from Texaco.
They're up 3-2 as Mackie Sasser steps in against Walt Terrell. Sasser grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. Tried to bunt his first time up, and now King playing in even with the bag to guard against that possibility. King, the third baseman for the Pirates, the first pitch, ball 1. Mets on the 3-run home run by Darryl Strawberry. Came after a walk to Magadan on a 3-2 pitch in the blue pit by Jeffries to left field, dropping between the shortstop and the left fielder. Now Sasser swings away and fouls it away. Sasser was the San Francisco Giants' 5th-round draft selection in the January 1984 draft, and then the Mets got him from Pittsburgh.
Came to the Mets for Randy Milligan. Milligan now with Baltimore, and he had 3 home runs in last night's ball game. 9 for the season.
And that pitch is taken low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Here it is, June 10th, and 6 players have hit. Actually, 5 players have done it 6 times. Hit 3 home runs in a ball game. As you continue to see Jay Bell working on his glove. Cecil Fielder's done it twice. Kevin Mitchell, Jeff Treadway, Glenn Davis, and Randy Milligan, the only American leaguer to have done it 3 times. 3 home runs in a game.
That ball is jumping this year. 3-1 pitch, and Sasser hits it to the right, but he didn't get all of it. And he has started back and then came up to make the catch, and Sasser's out. Another indication that the ball is really jumping this year. 14 players have hit Grand Slam home runs in the National League. Last year, only 1 player did it all year. Kevin McReynolds against Tim Cruz of the Dodgers. So Sasser is out, and that brings up Kevin Elster. Elster out in a good play by Jose Lean on a pop-up into shallow center his first time up. And the breaking ball by Walt Terrell for ball 1. Terrell is a pitcher who does put in a lot of time on the mound. This ball grounded to King off his glove, and that will probably be scored an error.
Ball hit fairly well to King's left, a rather routine play, but it hits the heel of the glove, and King not able to recover in time. An error on Jeff King. And boy, I'll tell you, if the Pirates are to win this National League East, they're going to have to shore up their defense.
That is their 10th error in this series. Made 4 in the first game and still won the game. So Elster is on, and Bob Ojeda the batter, and Bob in a sacrifice situation. And he bunts the ball out in front of home. It's not out far enough. Thrown into center field, and Elster is safe on the throwing error by Don Slott. The second error in this inning. Slott in his hurry, firing the ball to center field.
I think Don slipped. He was talking to John McSherry, saying the footing was bad in front of home plate. Good throw has him. Let's see if he slipped. No? Nope.
So no sacrifice, but Ojeda on base anyway on the throwing error.
Good play by Van Slyke to back up the play. A lot of times you'll see center fielders who react too late to a play like that. Good play by Van Slyke. How about this? Wow.
That includes the 2 errors in this inning. Mets winning 2 of the first 3 games.
Been a team effort.
They spread those errors around, haven't they? 1 ball, no strikes to Darryl Boston, who is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. Talking about Terrell being a hard-working pitcher. He was in 200 or more innings his last 6 years. So far this year, he came into this game with 55 innings of work. This ball hit the left. It's right at Barry Bonds, who makes the catch. Elster back to second base. Boston out for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Dave Magadan, who has walked once and scored a run. He also has been robbed of a base hit. Walt Terrell making Van Slyke run a long way for a drive in left center. Van Slyke with a diving catch. Mets leading 3-2. A chance to pick up more as Magadan steps in. Magadan has driven in only 4 runs this year. He has been up 73 times. And Terrell's first pitch, a ball. Bud Harrelson, the manager of the Mets, taking over in Cincinnati. He has won 5 and lost 5 since taking over. 1-0 pitch for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. In playing 500 baseball, the Mets have lost 1 game to the Pirates over his tenure as manager. A win here today would turn that around. Harrelson would go over the 500 mark, and he will have even the spread against Pittsburgh since he took over. And that pitch, a fastball fouled away, and it's 2-1. You're watching Mets Baseball 90 on WWOR-TV, Secaucus, New Jersey. There's Buddy. 46 years of age, the 12th manager of the New York Mets. They started playing back in 1962 as Casey Stengel was the manager. The 2-1 pitch, and Terrell takes it low for ball 3 in the count, 3-1. Slot out to the mound. He might have been crossed up on that pitch.
Whenever you see the middle infielder come in, you figure it's a cross-up because the infielder, if they do change signs, he wants to know about it. And with the left-handed hitter up, he's the one who's getting the signs. You see his angle. Leaned playing Magadan to pull, but Belliard is the guy who flashes the sign, and open mouth, closed mouth to Jose Leaned.
So it's 3-1 to Dave Magadan. And the pitch. Ball 4, Magadan walks, that loads up the bases and brings up Greg Jeffries.
Second baseman, Greg Jeffries.
So Jeffries batting with the bases loaded. He had a bloop base hit in the 4th. He's 1 for 2 today. Elster at third base, Ojeda at second. Magadan at first. And Jeffries takes high for ball 1.
I'd like to correct that. The only time a shortstop or second baseman use open mouth, closed mouth is with just a man on first. And Belliard wanted to know the signs, but there's no open mouth, closed mouth that show who's covering between the shortstop and second baseman with a runner at second.
That one in the dirt, a good block by Slot. And it's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Terrell has given up 2 hits. One of them, the 3-run home run by Darryl Strawberry. He has walked 3. And has struck out 1.
Really a good play by Slot, preventing at least 1 run. That ball bouncing in front of the plate. And that brings out Ray Miller, the pitching coach. Terrell has already thrown 5 wild pitches this year, and the Pirates certainly don't want to give the Mets a cheap run.
On deck batter for the Mets, Darryl Strawberry, as Ray Miller talks it over with the veteran Walt Terrell. Action in the bullpen. Reed throwing out there. Rick Reed, the right-hander, appeared in this series earlier against the Mets.
Great hitting situation right here.
2-0 the count. And it's ball 3, and the hitting situation gets better. 3-0, no place to put him. Jeffries will be taken here with the bases loaded.
Maybe.
I don't think you turn him on this pitch.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. The 3-0 pitch, and it's in there, a call strike. You're going to get the same pitch 3-1 as you got 3-0.
And probably if it goes to 3-2, the same thing.
So now Jeffries with the 3-1 count, and of course hitting away. The pitch. Hard drive to right center field, a base hit. 2 runs to score. Elster from third, Ojeda from second, and the Mets lead it by a score of 5-2 as Jeffries comes through.
Well, I tell you, this has really been a tacky inning for the Pirates. 2 errors, one on Jeff King, one on Don Slott, then the walk. And you give major league teams that many chances and that many outs in an inning, and they're going to hurt you.
Now it's Darryl Strawberry's turn. His 3-run home run put the Mets up 3-2 in the 4th. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. Terrell having all kinds of problems with his control, falling behind the hitters. He has given up only 3 hits, but he has walked 3, and the 2 errors in this inning make the runs scored by the Mets unearned. And this fastball fouled back into the stands. 1 ball, 1 strike. Terrell should have been out of the inning with a 1-2-3 inning if it wasn't for the errors.
Then he contributed with the walk to Magadan.
And the base hit by Jeffries for 2 runs, and the Mets leading 5-2. This ball grounded in the hole. It's a base hit. Another run scores. Jeffries on his way to third, and the Mets lead at 6-2 as Strawberry gets his 2nd hit and his 4th run batted in.
Reedus holding Jeffries on, and watch the hopper get just by Reedus. Looks like it went through the glove. When Reedus plays first base, the Pirates are a poorer team defensively because Sid Breen, one of the real fine fielding first basemen.
And also Reedus, an outfielder, converted into a first baseman. Let's get their 3rd unearned run in this inning, and the batter is Kevin McReynolds. Reynolds 0 for 2. This pitch popped up down the left field side. Over there is Barry Bonds. He makes the call and makes the catch.
So did King.
As King runs into him, and King Bonds evidently hurt. King hit him evidently right in the stomach and knocked the air out of him. But he held on to the ball, and that will end the inning. 3 runs for the Mets, all unearned. 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left on. And the score at the end of 5, it's the Mets 6 and the Pirates 2. Now here's a word from...
During our commercial break, part of a movie was made.
And the wave put on here by this full house, done with great execution. And there is a pitch for ball 2, 2-0.
About 48,000 people in unison. Tell their grandkids that they were in a movie. There I am, see?
Just another extra. 50,000 extras. One of Cecil B. DeMille's films. He used to have all those people in there as extras in those war scenes. There's the cameraman all decked out like a regular movie man. And that's ball 4, and Reedus walks as Ojeda staked to a 4-run lead, walks the leadoff batter here in the 6th.
Here's the wave that we were talking about. It's a wave with a purpose. They had to do it again, however. I would imagine when it's Cecil B. DeMille who made Moses, wasn't he the producer?
Yeah, I think
Moses?
that was it.
If you part the Red Sea, you can only do it one time. You can do the wave again, but you can't part the Red Sea twice.
Now the batter is Rafael Belliard, 2 for 2 today, and he takes the first pitch he called strike.
Come to think of it, that was kind of a wave, right? Parting the Red Sea. That was a big one, right? That was the real one.
That was the real one, as Red Fox would say. Now the 1 strike pitch grounded to the first baseman Marshall. He tags the bag. The force is off. The tag is made, and the double play is completed.
Fine play by Mike Marshall, making sure of 1, and then a strong throw by Marshall. Remember, for about 6 years, he was a right fielder, so he has a strong arm and a quick tag by Elster to get Ritas. Good play.
Mets are last in the league in making double plays, but they're fielding right there perfect as Marshall made a fine throw after taking the force off, tagging the bag. Now the batter is Jeff King, 0 for 2. He takes outside for a ball. King has struck out and grounded out. And Ojeda misses for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
By the way, the Cubs over the Phillies 4-2 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We mentioned Lenny Dykstra being part of that 2-run first. He wasn't. He struck out to lead off the game, but the Phillies scored 2 in the first and trailed 4-2 in the bottom of the 3rd.
So the 22-game hitting streak still open. 3-0 the count to King. And a strike called by Big John McSherry. 3 balls, 1 strike. Good hitting spot for King. Fastball hitter. And he gets the fastball and pops it up into shallow right. Jeffries back to make the call. And his catch retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, a double play, and the score. At the end of 5.5 innings, it's the Mets 6 and the Pirates. The Mets leading 6-2. And once again, here's Tim McCarver.
I'll take it. All right. Mike Marshall takes strike 1, 0-1 to Mike, who is 0 for 2 on the afternoon. 6-2, Mets on top. Only 4 hits for New York, but boy, have they made them count. Sharply off the glove and body of Belliard, and he can't make a play. That'll probably go as a hit for Marshall.
He really hit it hard. We'll have to wait and see. Pirates have made 11 errors in this series. So far, it hasn't been scored. Boy, that was a tough chance.
Yeah, that ball was hit like a rocket.
Got in front of it. He did a job of doing that, and that's about all he could hope for. Got a bad ricochet.
It is scored a base hit, and properly so. Mackey Sasser, the batter, with nobody out. Mets on top, 6-2. Outside, ball 1 to Mackey. Before that Marshall hit, every hit that the Mets had this afternoon produced a run. 5 RBIs and 1 run scored. Strawberry has 4 RBIs on 2 hits. Jeffries 2 RBIs. And Jeffries on the other hit scored a run. Actually, 6 of the RBIs came on hits, and the Mets with only 5 hits now. 1-1 to Sasser. The walks and the errors have killed Walt Terrell.
And the failure to catch Greg Jeffries' bloop hit.
Yeah.
It went for a base hit, but it should have been played.
Low, ball 2, 2-1.
Unearned runs, but the Mets have been hitting the ball much better in this series. They've gotten out of the cellar in hitting. They're now 10th in the league in hitting, raising their team average to 242. They've had a good hitting series.
There goes Marshall, ground ball right side. Ritas' only play is to first. So the hit and run play at least moves Marshall to second base. One out here in the 6th inning.
Buddy Harrelson playing a very aggressive game. Had Strawberry stealing earlier in the ball game, trying to steal third. Unfortunately got doubled up on a line drive hit by Mike Marshall. But aggressive baseball.
The type of player Buddy Harrelson was, a running type of player. Davey Johnson, a home run hitter. Davey inclined, he would run a little bit, but more inclined to wait for the home run. He was successful doing that. Buddy Harrelson wanted to change the character of the club and the look of the club.
Early in his career, Johnson, as manager of the Mets, used to hit and run a lot more than he did at the latter stage. Hit and run play, probably the best play in the game, other than, you know, grand slam home runs or something like that. But as a technical play put on, it's an outstanding play to use.
Slider for a strike, 1-1. Yeah, I know what you mean. It adds zest to an offense. It adds animation, energy.
Gets it going, and it also makes the players move around defensively, and that makes it tougher to field the ball. I believe it was first done back in the 1800s by McGraw's team, the Baltimore Orioles.
Ball and 2 strikes to Elston. Of course, you need favorable counts to guard against the pitch out.
That's where that name, the Baltimore chop, came from, because they would chop down to the ball, hit it on the ground, and have the runner going. And that's about when it probably was put to use as a real part of a baseball game.
Ball and 2 strikes to Kevin Elston. Mets on top, 6-2. Breaking ball outside, 2-2 to Kevin.
Terrell, when he pitched for the Mets, was 19-23 before his trade to Detroit.
Fastball drilled to left center, and Van Slyke won't get to it. Marshall's going to score. Elster stopping at second base. 7-2 Mets. There again, another hit, another RBI.
Well, Elster hitting a double just like he did in yesterday's ball game, up the alley in left field. It was hit so hard that neither outfielder could get close. And he drives in a big insurance run. The Mets up now by 5. Marshall scoring from second base. I was a little surprised they pitched to Elster in that spot.
Well, if you don't pitch to him, then Ojeda would bunt and send men to second and third and give the Mets a chance. When you're 4 runs up, I guess Jim Leyland's thinking you don't want to give them any more chances. 8th place hitter. No balls, 2 strikes to Ojeda.
With first base open, he gave him an awfully good pitch to hit.
Yep. Rick Reed continues to warm for Pittsburgh. Yeah, Terrell has been wild in the strike zone today at the wrong time as Ojeda down on strikes. Second strikeout for Terrell, and that'll bring up Darryl Boston.
Center fielder Darryl Boston.
At that part of the plate's 17 inches wide, and when you were wild in that middle 12 inches, or big league hitters, they jump all over that. Inside, ball 1. Did you read Frank Robinson's quote recently?
He has a few out. I don't know which one.
Yeah. This was concerning Warren Spahn, and Robinson said that Warren Spahn was never introduced to the middle of the plate. I thought that was appropriately said. 1-1 to Boston.
The winningest left-hander in baseball history, Warren Spahn.
Gibson used to talk about that all the time. He used to say the middle 12 inches are the hitters, middle 12, 13 inches. The outside 2 inches and the inside 2 inches are mine. Carlton the same way, who learned a lot from Gibson. The outside and inside lanes of the plate. That's where, in my opinion, most of your outs are made. Because when you do that, a pitcher in effect is keeping the ball off the good part of the bat. And that's what he's paid to do more than anything. 2 balls and a strike to Boston.
Whoever designed this game, Hartright or you name it, certainly had a scientific idea of what this game was all about, whether they did it on purpose or not. The distances, the size of the plate, the pitching mound, the distance from the mound to home plate. Of course, that has been changed over the years. And of course, the mound has been raised and lowered over the course of the years. In '68, it was very high. They lowered it after that.
Off the end of the bat to shortstop. Belliard throws out Boston. But the Mets tack on another one with a couple of base hits. They lead 7-2 after 6, and we're back after this from Manufacturers Hanover. On for the Pirates here in the top of the 7th. Bobby Ojeda has a 7-2 lead as Bonilla gets his second hit of the day, and the 6th for Pittsburgh. Rifling one to center field.
This copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets and Sterling Doubleday Enterprises LP and WWOR-TV is prohibited. Any commercial or other use of the program, such as by charging admission for its showing, is also prohibited.
Barry Bonds now drills one to second off the glove of Jeffries. An error on Greg Jeffries on a double play ball. So the Pirates with 2 on and nobody out here in the 7th inning.
Well, it's the Mets now playing some giveaway as Jeffries can't handle the half hop. Ball bouncing away. He had the double play. And now the Pirates with runners at first and second and no one out.
And Jeff King will be, I beg your pardon, Don Slaught will be the batter. Slaught 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly, driving in his 15th run of the year back in the 2nd inning. The Pirates actually had a 2-0 lead in this game. They trail 7-2 now. Change is high, ball 1. Ron Darling has started to warm up for the Mets. Poor defense has been the catchphrase of this series. 4 errors in this game, 2 by each club. Another change, swing and a miss, 1-1 to Slaught. Ojeda entered the game 7-1 against the Pirates in this ballpark. He has been very successful against Pittsburgh. 10-4 for his career. Just misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Two and two to Slaught. Don from Long Beach, California.
Went to UCLA with Dave Schmidt, Matt Young, Tim Leary. Pretty good ball club there at UCLA. Graduated with a BS in economics.
Originally signed with Kansas City, he shared catching duties back in 1983 with John Wathen, who is now the manager of the Kansas City Royals. Way outside, 3-2 to Slaught. Doubtful that the runners will be running here. Pirates trailing by 5, forced into more of a passive game on the bases. Fly ball, right field. Strawberry over. Bonilla tagging. Strawberry makes the play. Bonilla goes to third, but Ojeda gets an out. Well, how did we get to this point? We'll try to tell you. The Pirates took the lead in the top of the second, an RBI double by Barry Bonds driving in Bonilla, then a sacrifice fly by Slaught. In the bottom of the fourth, Magadan walked. Jeffries a dunker to left field that should have been caught, and that set the stage for Darryl Strawberry, his 12th home run of the year. The Mets leading 3-2 in the bottom of the fifth, a 2-run single by Jeffries, another RBI by Strawberry, his fourth of the day, made it 6-2, and then in the bottom of the sixth, an RBI double by Kevin Elster scored Mike Marshall with the 7th run. Mel Stottlemyre now wants to talk with Bobby Ojeda. Bobby with a 5 o'clock shadow at 3:30.
Stottlemyre making the call to the bullpen. He has one pitcher throwing, Ron Darley.
Van Slyke now the batter, and he lifts one foul. The Mets are looking for an out. They'll obviously take the double play. If you want an out right here, even at the expense of a double play, if in doubt, go to first. 7-2 Met lead.
They'll let the run score from third to try and get the double play.
Curve outside, 1-1. Van Slyke 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Check swing, and Van Slyke wanted to take another swing at it. Ball and 2 strikes.
Andy on the check swing here fouls it off. Now watch him.
Why did I do that? 1-2 to Van Slyke. 2 on, 1 out, 7-2 Mets here in the 7th inning. There goes Bonds. Swing and a miss. Throw is low, so Bonds taking a chance, but he steals second base. 2 outs.
Well, they get the strikeout on Andy Van Slyke for the second out. The throw by Sasser off the ground, picked up by Elster as he makes sure it doesn't go through. And now runners at second and third, but 2 men out.
Jose Leaned now the batter. Jose entered the game batting .333. Not bad for an 8-spot hitter. Ground ball to third. Easy play for Magadan. He guns out Lean for the 3rd out. Pirates fail to score. Another good job by Bobby Ojeda. It's the Mets 7 and the Pirates 2 on our GE scoreboard. In at shortstop.
Number 3.
There's Jay. He will be the 9th place hitter. He'll lead off the top of the 8th as Rafael Belliard, who started the game, was the shortstop. He moves over to second base. And on the mound and batting 8th is Rick Reed. So Belliard at second and Reed on the mound in relief of Walt Terrell.
Reed 0-0 with no saves. Appeared against the Mets in this series for the first time. Dave Magadan the batter. That's on top, 7-2 here in the 7th inning.
If they win this game, they will be 6.5 behind the Pirates. The Cardinals are winning, and the Cubs are winning. This one hit deep to right field, way back, and Dave Magadan has his first home run of the '90 campaign. 8-2 New York.
Dave Magadan with his first home run of this year, and that is his 9th home run in his major league career as he takes Reed downtown.
Greg Jeffries, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. You get the sense of this ball club coming together after a horrendous start. 2 balls and no strikes to Jeffries. High and outside, 3-0. There's a strike, 3-1.
Well, it's the bottom of the 7th. A lucky fan could win $100 and a chance for a $10,000 bonus from Budweiser as a designated Bud batter. Stay tuned to Connor's Corner after this game for more details.
Grounder to Bell at short, and 1 out here in the 7th inning.
In the Nissan National League scoreboard show, Chicago 6, Philadelphia 3. Dykstra got a base hit. He extends his hitting streak to 23 consecutive games. That game in the 4th. St. Louis 4, Montreal 2 in the bottom of the 6th. San Francisco 7, Atlanta 1, top of the 4th. Houston 2, Cincinnati 1. And the other game to be played later on. Dodgers against the Padres in San Diego.
Ball and no strikes to Darryl Strawberry. 2 for 2, 4 RBIs, his 12th home run in the 4th. Breaking ball, foul back, 1-1. It's interesting on the Nissan scoreboard, you saw the 3 bottom teams in the National League East all winning their games. So like an accordion, the National League East could squeegee up if that continues its same picture. The Cubs, the Cardinals, the Mets, the 3 bottom teams beating the top 3 teams. 2 balls and a strike to Strawberry. 2-2. Breaking ball low. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Darryl. Grounder towards second, high hop for Belliard, and he throws out Strawberry. The first time today that the Pirates have solved the Strawberry puzzle. Kevin McReynolds about it.
Kevin McReynolds.
Well, I guess it's time for the Mets to break loose. Only in a week where the movie Dick Tracy premieres on Friday. Fashionable shoot 'em up. 0-1 to McReynolds. Talk about a guy who could do it all. Stephen Sondheim has 3 songs in Dick Tracy. Here's a guy who's come out with some of the prettiest music in the world, and he writes songs for Madonna. Now that's going one extreme to the other. 0-2 to McReynolds, and he taps it foul. Still 0-2. Two outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Mike Marshall, the batter. Ball and 2 strikes to Mac.
Think about the imagination of the fellow that wrote Dick Tracy years and years ago with the watch and the telephone and all that sort of thing. Now it's actually a modern day life.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon, all the things that are greened up there are the same.
Well, the Mets score another run on Dave Magadan's home run. They lead it 8-2 after 7, and we're back after this from the Las Vegas Tourism Board. Here at Shea, the Mets are playing very, very well. They lead 8-2. Tim Tuffle enters the game at third base. Dave Magadan, a home run, his first of the year. Tuffle at second base, I beg your pardon. Greg Jeffries out of there. Magadan still in the game. Magadan's on base 3 times today, 1 for 2 with his first home run of the year. He scored 3 runs. No balls, 1 strike to Jay Bell. Outside and low, 1-1. Ojeda all the way for the Mets. Walt Terrell started the game for Pittsburgh. He went 6 innings, giving up 7 runs, and Rick Reed was greeted roughly by a Magadan homer. It's 8-2 Mets. 1-2 to Bell. Mets go to Chicago for 4 games, then 4 in Pittsburgh. Inside corner, but a little low. 2-2 to Bell. We'll be on the air Tuesday afternoon, 2:20 New York time, and then 7 o'clock on Saturday night, 1:30 next Sunday. Those are our games of the week here on WWOR. Actually, next Sunday it's 2 o'clock on the air. It's a 2:15 game in Pittsburgh. 3-2 to Bell. This one hit fairly deep to left center field. Back is Boston. He's back. It's out of here. I'd say that's fairly deep. I cannot believe that ball went out of the ballpark. It's 8-3 now, Mets. Wow.
Well, Jay Bell gets his 2nd home run of the year. This ball just kept carrying and carrying out in left center field in this warm weather, bringing out the home runs. Bell last year for the Pirates, 2 home runs.
Strike 1 to Gary Reedus, who has power. Can't believe that ball left the yard. Curveball ripped to left field, and that's going to drop. So Reedus on. Nobody out here in the 8th inning. Ron Darling continuing to warm.
And checking out the Nissan American League scoreboard. The Yankees 5, Baltimore 1, bottom of the 6th inning. Detroit 4, Seattle 3, bottom of the 7th inning. Cleveland 4, Boston nothing, bottom of the 9th. Chicago 4, Minnesota nothing, bottom of the 4th. Later on, Toronto and Milwaukee, Kansas City and Oakland, Texas and California. Both of those last 2 games, day games.
With Belliard up and Ojeda still in there, Magadan is alert for the bunt at third base. Belliard, an excellent bunter. He is 2 for 3 on the afternoon. And a bunt attempt is foul. Nobody out here in the 8th inning. An 8-3 ball game. 8 hits for the Pirates. They've actually out-hit the Mets. But some key errors and walks by Walt Terrell, the starting pitcher, have contributed to an 8-3 Met lead. Mets trying to make it 3 out of 4 against Pittsburgh as Darling continues to throw in the bullpen. Foul away. 0-2 to Rafael Belliard. Grounded to short. Elster to second. Back to first. Double play. Two outs.
Third baseman, Jeff King.
And Jeff King now the batter. That erases, that double play erases the momentum that the Pirates had built up in this inning. Leadoff homer by Bell, then a single by Reedus, but a double play ball by Belliard. Ball and no strikes to Jeff King, who's had a tough day. 0 for 3 and an error in the field. 2 balls and no strikes.
Ojeda's pitches, 86 of them so far today. 30 balls, 56 strikes, 3 strikeouts. 7 2/3 innings.
Line drive, base hit for King, his first of the afternoon. Ojeda appears to be tiring. And Bobby Bonilla will be coming up.
Right fielder, Bobby Bonilla.
He hasn't thrown that many pitches. Only 87 as Mel Stottlemyre looks on. But he's been in some tight spots. Pirates have gone in order only one time. They've had base runners in 7 of the 8 innings. Outside corner, strike 1. This is the longest that Ojeda has worked this year, 7 2/3 innings. It's kind of understandable that he would be a bit fatigued. Only his 4th start of the year. 1-1 to Bonilla.
Here we are, June the 10th, and he came into this game having worked only 44 2/3 innings.
7 straight appearances in the bullpen. Before his first start against the Giants the 9th of May. 2 balls, 1 strike to Bonilla. Dangerous, dangerous hitter. Fastball on the corner, 2-2 for Bobby Bonilla. He's pounded himself on the helmet. Make you keep your shoulder in there. Swing and a miss by Ojeda. Strikeout number 4 for Bobby. Pirates score 1 time on 3 hits, stranding 1 after 7.5. It's 8-3 New York, and we're back after this from your Tri-State Lincoln Mercury dealer.
They do it with a green wave. And they're on TV here on WWOR. 8,000 Girl Scouts on the 50th birthday.
Swing and a miss by Mike Marshall. Mets on top 8-3, and that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? I wonder how much money, I wonder how much gross sales the Girl Scouts have had on those cookies of theirs. They got to be the most famous cookies in the world, don't they? Outside Famous Amos.
Famous Amos has got a pretty good name.
Yeah. 0-2 to Marshall.
Famous Amos and Fred Wilpon with the cookies.
Yeah. Fred, the co-owner of the New York Mets with Nelson Doubleday, his box located right next to our box, and we are the recipients of many calories a year.
He's trying to tell us something.
Lined hard down the left field line, and it's a fair ball. That ball looked like it hit the outside of the chalk line. You can't hit a fair ball any closer to being foul than that ball. You could see Marshall saying, I thought it was foul.
Can't hit any fair ball any fairer. As this one hits right on the chalk. It looks like that way.
Yeah.
Got it on the outside of the chalk, and it's a 2-base hit. Bobby Bonds, I should say Barry Bonds, doesn't argue the call, so he agrees.
Second straight hit for Marshall. And And Mark Carrion is going to be the pinch runner for Mike Marshall. Roger McDowell used to create a lot of famous shenanigans on the bench, and this one, a hot foot to Mike Cubbage at first base, set by Howard Johnson. And we want to remind all you youngsters out there as a disclaimer, don't be trying any of that stuff. These guys they handle that as part of their professional life. It is not to be toyed with. The curve is high, a ball and no strikes to Mackey Sasser.
Yeah, don't do that unless you've had a crash course with Roger McDowell, who is the all-time leading expert on hot fits.
He used to do that a lot in the minor leagues. It's 1-1 to Sasser's. Johnny Cucks. Johnny was my roommate in 1962 with the Atlanta Braves. Pitcher with the Yankees and a good one. Nobody was safe around Johnny. Johnny Cucks was also embroiled in that Copa affair. I think it was 57. Billy Martin, Mickey Mantle, Hank Bauer, Johnny Cucks.
Whitey Ford.
Whitey, naturally.
Was Ralph Howkin on that thing?
I don't know. Line to center. Van Slyke over, back, makes the play. Carrion stays at second. One out here in the 8th inning with the Mets on top 8-3.
Shortstop Kevin Elster.
Rick Reed in relief of Walt Terrell. And Kevin Elster with an RBI double, his 24th RBI of the year. His last at bat, he's 1 for 3 with a run scored and a ribby. Change on the outside corner, strike one. John Franco is warming up. So I would imagine John will be in the 9th inning.
Franco, of course, from Brooklyn, and our thought here, as this ball has popped up to a Bronx man right here.
Yeah,
Bonilla.
He's representing one borough, Franco the other borough.
And Stan Musial was inducted into the Brooklyn Hall of Fame as a Hall of Fame adversary of the Brooklyn Dodgers when they played at Ebbets Field.
It's where he got his name, the Man, right?
Stan the Man, he was named that. There's that man again.
And today, I think it's worthy of note, it's Brooklyn Day. We mentioned the Puerto Rican parade down 5th Avenue today, and it's Brooklyn Day, a big
I'm proud to be a part of that Brooklyn Hall of Fame as a opponent. Had a nice celebration over there. That was just a great place to play baseball.
Tom O'Malley will be the pinch hitter for Ojeda. It was O'Malley's home run Wednesday night in the 11th inning. Had won the game for the Mets. That was when the Mets were playing Montreal. They won that game, and they've won 2 out of 3 from Pittsburgh and are ahead in this game 8-3 here in the 8th inning.
If the Mets put this one away, they will have won 5 out of 6.
Gary Reedus at first makes the play. So Ojeda's out of there, but he pitched strongly, and he will be the winning pitcher if Franco can hold on. We go to the 9th after this from AT&T. 48,283 on hand this afternoon, and John Franco in relief of Bobby Ojeda.
And John with a record of 2-0, 9 saves, and earned run average of 2.45. He's walked only 5 while striking out 17, giving up 17 hits and 18 in the 3rd innings.
Tom O'Malley stays in the game. He goes to 3rd base. And Dave Magadan moves across to 1st base as Mike Marshall is out of there. Chuck Berry and Johnny Be Good in the background, and Johnny has been good this year. And Brooklyn should be proud of him. happy to be back home. Mark Carrion stays in the game also. He's in left field. Mets on top 8-3. Well, folks, after each game this season, points will be awarded to Mets pitchers for the AT&T Long Distance Award. Now, here's how it works. For every inning pitch, you get a point. We'll also add in the fractions. If a pitcher is credited with a complete game, he gets a bonus point. And at the end of the season, the man on top will win the AT&T Long Distance Award. Barry Bonds leads it off here in the ninth and takes a fastball inside. Grounder toward first, but foul, 1-1. Jimmy Ross, the president of promotions here for the Mets, conscientiously concerned about our not knowing what the award would be at the end of the season. And to be a note this morning saying that the AT&T Long Distance Award will be $10,000 to a player's favorite charity at the end of the year. So that's nice to know. 1-1 to Barry Bonds. Fly ball to center, an easy play for Boston. One away here in the ninth.
The catcher, John Franco.
Franco against the Pirates for his career is 3-2, 16 saves. His first appearance this year was against Pittsburgh, and he got a save, 1 of 16. No balls, 1 strike to Don Slaught.
Fans, did you know that every time a Mets player steals a base, you can win a new 1990 Nissan 300ZX? Just go to your participating Nissan dealer and enter the Nissan stolen base game. No purchase is necessary.
0-2 to Slaught.
You must be 18 years old and a licensed driver to play, and Rich Capperson from Rivervale, New Jersey was our contestant today. Good luck and try again. No stolen bases by the Mets in today's game. They've done it with their bats.
Big hits. 3-run homer by Strawberry. A Slaught down on strikes. Darryl with 4 RBIs on the afternoon. Franco, should he finish this game, will not be credited with a save because the Mets are leading by 5 runs. Andy Van Slyke, the batter. He is 1 for 3. He is singled in 3 trips. Only one final, and that in the American League. Cleveland beating Boston 4-0. And with the games in progress, Ralph will be along the way with another Kiner's Corner after today's game. Filling you in on all the action in both leagues this afternoon. 1-1 to Van Slyke. Two balls and a strike. Popped up toward the Pirate dugout. O'Malley giving chase, but he can't get to it. Still 2-2 to Andy Van Slyke. Now the ups and downs of baseball. The Pirates 14-6 in April, 15-11 in May. And if they lose this game today, they will be 5-5 in June. They are backpedaling. The Mets are going forward. If the Mets win, they will have won 5 of 6. Still 2-2. Frankie Viola has won more games than any pitcher in the National League. And he will go again tomorrow against Greg Maddux. Actually, tomorrow night game. Frankie. Outside, ball 3, 3-2. Van Slyke draws a walk. That's the first issued by Franco. And that'll bring up a pinch hitter for Rick Reed in the person of John Cangelosi.
Ladies and gentlemen, batting for the pitcher, Rick Reed, number 44, John Cangelosi.
Cangelosi was on base in last night's ball game on an error as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning of last night's game. Cangelosi 5 for 20 as a pinch hitter for Pittsburgh this year. Ball and no strikes to John Cangelosi. 2 outs, 1 on, 8-3 Mets were in the ninth. Tapper in the Pittsburgh dugout. One and one to John Cangelosi. Another one tapped foul. We mentioned Brooklyn Day and John Franco. John Cangelosi is from Brooklyn too. So one Brooklynite trying to get out another Brooklynite. It gets by Sasser, and Van Slyke goes to second. See how it's going to be scored. Probably a wild pitch. That ball was in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cangelosi. Mackey Sasser bruised on the left arm in last night's game. Coming back and playing today, I'll tell you, when you take a beating on those arms in a night game and have to come back in the daytime, hands just are not as quick. And it is being scored a wild pitch. Van Slyke at second, 2 outs. Did he go too far? Yes, says John McSherry. Second strikeout of the ball game for Franco, and that'll do it. The Mets move to within 6.5 games of the Pittsburgh Pirates. So things are tightening up here in the National League East. Bobby Ojeda, the winner, his record now 2-3, and the losing pitcher, Walt Terrell. Walter falls to 2-5. Pirates actually out-hitting the Mets. 2 pivotal errors in the 5th inning that really opened up the floodgates. The Mets scoring 3 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and tacking on single runs in the 6th and 7th inning. Mets win 3 out of 4 against Pittsburgh. Back for the wrap.